There is one person who says Donald Trump has actually done better than anyone in history. Guess who?
Over the last 9 months, we have removed job-killing regulations at a record pace. In fact, in 9 months, we have done more, they say, than any president in history. And we're 9 months, and there's more to come.
Historic. I'm joined by that former Trump campaign surrogate, attorney David Wohl, as well as Julian Epstein, former chief counsel of the House Judiciary Committee and a Democratic strategist. Julian, your view?
I think this is mostly a story of a con job and betrayal to Trump voters who thought they were buying into health care reform, who thought they were buying into the wall and the Muslim ban, and all they got in return was a red hat, a big golf bill that the taxpayers have to pay, and a pretty bad Triumph the Insult Dog imitation. This is the least accomplished president in modern history. Presidents, and this history is always measured because of the way our system is set up, by legislative accomplishments that a president can achieve. Most of our modern presidents have achieved at least one major legislative victory. This president has none. His numbers are in the dumps. They're at about 37%. He's the least popular president in modern history. And even on things that he touts like jobs, President Obama did more for jobs in 2016 than Trump has done for jobs in 2017. It's a pretty miserable record so far, and it doesn't show any signs of getting better.
David?
Well, Ari, you know, I never could have dreamed that President Trump would have accomplished as much as he has in the first 9 months. I mean, think about this. Lowest job unemployment claim rate since 1973. That's 45 years. The stock market is up 25% to over 23,000. First time ever. We've got illegal immigration cut to about 53%. We've got ISIS being crushed, territory in Iraq being taken from ISIS at record levels. Now, to say that President Trump hasn't accomplished anything, well, he's well on the road to the tax cut policy, which will get $4,000 savings for the average American, up to $10,000.
We're going to stick to the record of things that have happened. But David,
okay,
we're going to stick to the
problem with David's analysis.
Wait, we're going to go David and then Julia. David, you have to stick to things that have happened, not that will happen, because I'm just not good enough at my job to grade predictions. Finish up, and then I go back to Julian.
Net exporting in petroleum, we've first time ever we're net exporting, which is because Mr. Trump, President Trump, has deregulated basically the industry, which has saved us billions of dollars and will bring billions into America. He's accomplished a lot, but the bottom line is the media isn't covering what he accomplishes. The media jumps on it for every little thing they can possibly find.
Now. You're on the show right now with the media. Save it with the media. Save it. We invite you on the show to get your perspective, so save it with the media. Use your time on that. That was your choice as a lawyer. Julian's turn.
What about the jobless claims being down?
With all due respect, David's recitation is a kind of bunch of weasel remarks that Trump, only the most dyed-in-the-wool Trump reporters. Yeah, they're kind of, no, they're weasel talking points. And let me tell you why. You make the point about the stock market. There's been no change in economic policy since Trump became president. He's riding on the coattails of the Obama economic policy, which he hasn't changed. Same with the jobs. President Trump has created fewer jobs in 2017 than Obama created in 2016. You talk about ISIS. Most of the territory that has been reclaimed, the ISIS-controlled territory, was reclaimed under the Obama years. Trump has recovered maybe about a quarter of it at most. These things that you talk about were things that were occurring naturally because of the autopilot nature of the government. When Trump
is that what you said?
No, but let me explain it to you, David. Let me explain it to you. Nothing major is going to change until you have a legislative change, which the president has not been able to do for a number of reasons. One of which, he doesn't understand legislation. He was talking, just take a look at what he did to Lamar Alexander the other day. 2 nights ago, he said, well, great what he's doing with on health care reform. We ought to encourage it. Then the next day, he pulled the rug out from under his feet.
So let me go to David. I'm going to go back to you. In the clip we played during the campaign, you said something that I heard on the trail from a lot of Trump supporters, which is the guy runs a business, he'll put good people in even if he doesn't have experience. And I could understand that argument. Let me show you how far back he lags behind every other recent president in both parties on appointments. This is things he can just do. He can pick these people, and he's behind by half. You know, Obama and Bush double him at this point. Why do you think this president, who you said would put in people, can't even fill the posts?
Well, he's got not just opposition, but complete obstruction.
But these are
the
appointments,
frankly,
sir. David, these are appointments.
This is not
party. Let me just, before I want to get your answer, but those are appointments,
not confirmed,
but we're not.
No.
We're
the
showing
nominations haven't been submitted.
He has not submitted them. Go ahead.
The nominations haven't been submitted.
Well, let's get them submitted. I would agree with that. But the idea somehow that Trump's accomplishments are Obama's accomplishments. Did you say in the great economic boom of 2009 and 2010 that George Bush was responsible for that? Of course not.
No, do you
Everybody
know why?
wants to pull the rug out from President Trump and give Obama the credit, and that's
your arguments are
absolute
absurd.
garbage. And you know it is, Julian.
Your arguments are absurd. The reason why nobody would say the boom in 2009 was attributable to George Bush was because in the first year, President Obama did what? He accomplished a major legislative reform with a stimulus package. He saved the auto industry. If you keep interrupting me, we can't have a conversation, David.
Now, you know what?
Saved the auto industry. David, please let me finish. Saved the auto industry, widely credited on Wall Street and elsewhere as reversing the turnaround in the economy that the Republicans brought us. This president has not filled, as Ari was just pointing out, the executive branch with staff. More than half the senior level positions have still not even been sent up.
Last I checked,
because we're out of time, David, I give you a quick final word. We are out of time.
Last
David,
I
final word.
He's created 1 million, maybe more than 1 million, 1.25 million new jobs. He's done incredible things with the economy. And you cannot, look, the stock market reacts to promises, to ideas, and to people that are in power. That's what's happening now.
Promises.
That's why you're seeing this record rate, and it's going to keep improving.
Americans will get richer. These are promises made is a promise kept. I have a promise to fit in a break. David Wohl, Julian Epstein, thank you both. Thank you for talking to each other. That's what we need in this country. Coming up, Trump says he should get a 10 out of 10 on Puerto Rico. 80% of the island does not have power.